All right, we will get started here with our next presentation, which is on regulatory and quality assurance. These are our top 2 requested questions. It does not matter what webinar or panel we're hosting. We get questions about regulatory every time because that is what is consistently changing, or we're waiting for it to be changing in our space. But regulation isn't necessary without quality assurance and safety standards. So they go hand in hand, kind of like our 2 next presenters. We have Mike Schmitt, our Director of Commercialization, and Juan Mogoginta, our Quality Assurance and Regulatory Manager. They work so closely together that they literally sit next to each other. We've arranged their desks that way. Their job is to keep the rest of us and our product in check, making sure that everything coming in and out is safe and of the highest quality. They are the reason you receive testing documentation like certificates of analysis and can have confidence in the quality from the raw ingredients to the finished product. On that note, I will let Mike take it from here. You guys might have attended a couple of his webinars. We tend to use him for a number of presentations. Mike, I'll let you take it away.
Work for SōRSE that allows me to wear a lot of different hats. And yes, Diana did say I am Director of Commercialization, but that still doesn't mean I am not still helping within the regulatory and quality side of things. This presentation is going to have myself and Juan kind of tag teaming a lot of questions and moving through and getting to know a little bit better some of your needs out there, especially since you have worked with us in the past, and we're trying to make sure that we grow the body of knowledge as we continue to work with you. One of the biggest things that I have conversations on and discussions with those that are able to take the time and call up is trying to find out what in the world is going on within the CBD realm. And I have to let you know that one of the biggest things out there is a really good understanding of how laws, rules, and regulations all come together. When Congress makes a law, it takes 2 to 3 years for the entities that the law affects to have an understanding of what is supposed to happen within that law. And then after that 2 to 3 years, then the rules behind how to enforce those come along. And the reason why I bring that up is because the 2018 Farm Bill was the law that told everybody, hey, this is hemp versus marijuana, that magic 0.3% THC. That law has been going through so many different iterations right now of how to understand it, and they're just beginning to figure out how to enforce it. So as of now, the FDA is still where it's at from before, and the USDA is still where it's at before. So as I go through this, I am going to give you more of an in-depth understanding. I can't just say yes or no, because obviously all of you have worked with us in the past, and you've said yes to putting your products out on the market. So I'm going to try to give you a background in it, but I just need you to understand that everything that we do is done to reduce risk to yourselves and to make sure that you have the best product out there when it comes to putting CBD into products out on the market. So it's all about risk reduction when it comes to regulatory. And because we're talking about risk reduction, it's a understanding that you'll never get rid of all the risks associated with it. Which brings us to what we're seeing right here on this inverted pyramid. If you didn't want to take risks, you wouldn't be putting CBD in your products. Period, end of story. You would just be going along with all of the rules and the regulations that 21 CFR Part 110, Part 111, Part 117, et cetera, puts you through in order to get a product out on the market, a safe, consistent product out in the market. And that's not where we're at. You want to work with a product that has some CBD out there. Now that being said, you yourself can do a lot to reduce the risk that the FDA is going to turn its eye towards you. And as I said, the easiest way of doing that is not putting CBD in there, but you're willing to take a little bit of risk to make sure that your customers are able to enjoy a great product that you put out. So the next level of risk is CBD being put into products, but not making any claims against it. The thing is consumers have gotten really savvy over the last several years and understanding that they want CBD for what their reasons are. You don't have to sit there and put on the front of your products a little bug saying, now for et cetera, et cetera. You're just putting it out there and people are consuming it because there is a need out there, there's a want out there, and you're helping fulfill consumers' needs and wants for your product. So putting a product out there that has CBD in it, again, a little bit of risk, but as of right now, it's on the lower end of the rules portion of what the FDA is going through. Now, going to the next level on there, moderate or more, putting CBD in a product with claims, with various claims of everything from relaxation to better sleep to all helping with pain. This is where the FDA starts to step in, because there are no substantiated claims associated with CBD. The FDA has been writing warning letters to those companies that are selling products with CBD in them that are making claims, such as the ones that I just gave examples for. And those claims are what the FDA is trying to stop, because if you have CBD in a product for pain, that's a medical condition. Pain is a medical condition, and FDA does not like drugs of which that claim is a part of. They don't like it in foods, so they're going to write warning letters at that point. The other type of warning letter that we're seeing is economic fraud being perpetuated onto the consumers, such as claiming there's 100 milligrams of CBD in a product, and when the FDA actually tests it, it's at 50%, 20% of the claim. It might even not even be in there or being able to be detected. So those are the biggest and most egregious things that one can do for products, is A, making a unsubstantiated claim, and B, claiming it's in there and not actually having it in there. And that's where I'm jumping to very high risk, is that medical portion of it. It's something that the FDA does not look well upon such claims, and they are shutting companies down that are not taking those warning letters seriously. That being said, working with everybody here, you aren't going that route. You understand where your risk tolerances are, and you're hovering in that moderate risk of adding CBD to a product that your consumers can enjoy, and then from there you are able to deliver on those claims. So going back to the FDA portion of things, I started off by letting you know that making a law has a gap of about 2 to 3 years until the regulations for that law are put into place. And then from there's another 2 to 3 years in which the rules for executing on those laws are coming through. So we're just in that 2 to 3 year period in which the FDA officially, as of today, still says that CBD is not considered generally recognized as safe. And it also is saying that nobody has successfully made a new dietary ingredient submission. So therefore, it's not going to be a food additive or a food ingredient. And it's also not going to be part of a dietary supplement officially. But I'm gonna go back to this inverted pyramid. We are a group of people, all of us on this side of the screen and on that side of the screen, that are willing to take a little bit of risk, and calculated risk, to make sure that we can get products out for consumers that are looking for this. So as long as we're not making medical claims, the FDA really has not done anything to stop people from utilizing this as an ingredient in products. And please understand that the FDA has no evidence that this is a poison either, or else they would have shut this down a long time ago. So we're still floating in that gray area, but that gray area, based off of that inverted pyramid, the closer you are to the top of the inverted pyramid, the less risk you have that the FDA is going to be writing you a warning letter. As I said, for the last 2 years, warning letters are only going out for people making unsubstantiated medical claims, in some cases basic claims. It's usually around cancer and such, and they don't want to defraud anybody, and then going around to economically defrauding people by saying, hey, we've got CBD in this product, only to find out that it's at a lot less amount or not in there at all. When it comes to CBD as a dietary supplement versus a food additive, as I said, the FDA hasn't allowed it for either as of today. However, they are not putting out warning letters for anything outside of the two parts of warning letters that I talked about before. And it's important to understand that there is a difference between a dietary supplement and a food additive. CBD as a dietary supplement will go into a dietary supplement that is in a small form factor that will not satiate hunger or satiate thirst. That being said, if you end up putting CBD into a little 1 ounce shot, say you're doing a wellness shot or something like that, that would be considered a dietary supplement, and you would use the portion of the FDA to go through this dietary supplement side of things. But if you put that same amount of CBD into 12 ounces of sparkling cider or sparkling water, or into a recognized serving of chocolate, that makes it a food at that point, because it satiates thirst, it satiates some hunger. So when the FDA is looking at products, that is kind of how they differentiate between whether or not they're working with a dietary supplement and whether or not those portions of the FDA 21 CFR applies to you as a processor or a manufacturer, or on the other side as a food rather than a dietary supplement. One of the biggest things that I've seen in many companies over the last 16, 17 years of my career within the food and beverage industry is usually the regulatory and the quality teams are usually mashed together as one. And within SōRSE, we kind of tease them apart, but we try to make sure that everybody understands that all the rules and the regulations have a direct impact on quality assurance. The rules and the way that things are monitored and verified for safety tells us how we're going to test on the QA side of things. So it's a balance between those two worlds. And as the slide says, the FDA does not know how to regulate the CBD, but the food and beverage safety protocols remain the same no matter what. I mean, ultimately, when we're talking about a 12-ounce can of soda that has 30 milligrams of CBD in it, that's such a small portion of the large picture that you're talking about a food and a beverage. And that safety system has been in place for over 100+ years and keeps on getting stronger and stronger every year that we learn about how pathogens work, how processing works, making sure that we aren't accidentally leaving sanitizers in lines and putting those out to our consumers. We're learning a lot about how to reduce the risk of microbial contamination, physical contamination, and chemical contamination. Those safety systems always have to be adhered to, no matter whether or not CBD is being put into a product or not. And it's those systems that are making sure that your products are safe, and those systems are in place at our co-manufacturers to make sure that our products are safe too. And that's one of the biggest things that really keeps a smile on my face, knowing that the products that we're putting out the door and working with you, being able to bring all of this knowledge to you to give you a safe ingredient is really important to me, and it's great to be able to have that ability to do all that work on the risk reduction side and pass that risk reduction onto you, our customers, so that you can have a great experience for your consumers at that point. One of the biggest things that we get questions on is these QA topics, and it's at this point that I'm going to shift over and let Juan take over, walking through what our QA protocols are, what we do if something goes through and does not conform to our expectations on raw materials or even unfinished products, and walk through some of these questions. Juan, you ready?
Yep.
Go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Mike, for introducing me. As Mike said, regulatory and QA are really close-knit or close together. We work hand in hand because what regulatory knows will have what quality will do. Because the thing is, we don't know whether in the future or 1 year or like next couple of months that CBD is going to be legal or legal in food per se. And these are the most requested QA topics. First of all, our quality assurance protocol, our non-conformance system, epidiolex approval, supplier evaluation process, and lot traceability. And let's move to our quality assurance program. So our quality assurance program started from the beginning, started from the raw materials itself. So it's technically before. So we evaluate all our suppliers, including our CBD suppliers, as well as our all other ingredient supplier. Because this a good ingredient or a good raw materials will result in a good formulations. That's also including a good processes. So we also tested quality during our processing and also our finished products. Keep in mind, quality is not only CBD content, but also microbial stability and all those sort in between. And this will impact our final emulsion. And you might ask, can we skip any of these steps to expedite the process? The answer will be no, because the thing is, we want everything to be good. And when you receive it, you can just use it right away instead of letting us know, oh, there's a problem in this, because we want the best quality product for you guys. And for our non-conformance protocol, so non-conformance both in raw materials and also in the process itself. So for the raw materials, if, for example, our CBD or hemp extract has THC higher than 0.3%, that means it is deemed cannabis. We will talk to our supplier, and usually we will ask for refund, and the products are usually destroyed, because the thing is, we can't have any THC or cannabis product in our facility, because that's not legal. And also for our other raw materials, if there's a problem in visual, and then the smell is weird, and the consistency is not weird, we also ask our supplier what's wrong with this product, and we tend to ask for refund and ask for a new product for it, because this and also product with like without any COA, we hold this product, and we won't touch it until we get the COA and until the QA department, that's my team, approve this product. And quality assurance is a high priority from start to finish. As if you haven't heard from Howard, that quality assurance is kind of like the insurance, the last step before you guys get this product, because we want the best product for you guys. And the easiest tips or the pro tips for evaluating and identifying strategic partners is like they abide by Global Food Safety Initiative, they provide testing documents, check referrals, verify experience with products similar to yours, and leverage SōRSE approved vendors versus outside vendors. That's the easiest way. And moving on to traceability, we would like to say our traceability is from source to source, that's including the CBD. So our supplier have different and the solution is the lot codes. So the lot numbers or the lot codes will tell us where the product is made by and where is it from. And we evaluate our supplier already, where they know from their lot code where is it coming from. For example, if this, so hemp is just like plant materials. Plant materials have a lot of other things like bugs or, for example, pesticides and all those sort. We don't want to have those stuff going in through our system. That's why we ask them whether they can keep track or whether they can pinpoint where's the raw materials are from. And this is really important to the quality department or the quality of the product. And what do you think, Mike? Why is it important in your opinion in a regulatory standpoint?
Well, the thing is that from a regulatory standpoint, you are responsible for all your incoming raw materials for its safety. You're responsible for processing in a safe manner, and you're also responsible to whom you sell it to. So it's the one reach back and the one reach forward within the supply chain, that if everybody does that within the supply chain, our raw materials people are doing it the same way, there is an opportunity that if for some reason we find out that one of our ingredients has some metal shavings in it, we can immediately find out from either our supplier or somebody within that chain that there's an issue, and we can follow that lot code from our raw materials into when we received it, into where we sold it to, and then we're able to remove such things from the market before it can harm anybody. So traceability is huge from a safety standpoint, and it's huge from a quality standpoint too, because ultimately, in the example that I just gave for the metal, that should never have left the raw material supplier's warehouse, because they should have been checking for it and reduced the risk that we were going to receive any of that type of metal. So I made that up. We haven't had that issue come up, but it is an example of how important traceability is to make sure that we can go through the entire system and potentially pinpoint where an issue may come up and do everything we can to reduce that risk, not only at present, but if something comes up, to be able to respond to that risk, walk through our risk assessment, and make sure that to see whether or not it's going to affect us again, or if we need to be doing something about it on our end.
Sweet. Thank you so much, Mike. And you might ask, what happens if lots were to mix? So we suggest not to mix lots, but this might happen once in a while. But when you process your product, you have what it's called batch sheet. Batch sheet is where you put all the lot numbers for your product, or the raw materials lot numbers. If you happens to mix some lots, you have to specify both lots, because the thing is, if there's a problem with the raw materials, for example, the supplier calls you, oh, there's a problem with this lot, you have to recall this product no matter what, because the thing is, if you only use, for example, a small amount, but that small amount is already in that product, so that product is deemed maybe bad quality or not safe for your consumers. And moving on to quality, is not really safety. Quality and safety are two different things. So a lot of people, myself as well, sometimes lump those together, because you just think about it as one big thing, but it's actually two different things. Quality means like quality of your product, verifying stability, lack of separation for our product, and potency of products meets claims. So think about it for your product. If your product is a beverage, so quality is flavor, aroma, color, and even if your can like product, if the cans are like crushed or is it in a good condition, it's that quality. And for safety, by law or by FDA, there are three main things. This is chemical, biological, and physical contamination. That's Mike has explained before. Chemical is just like sanitation or cleaning supplies that goes throughout your system. Biological is more like there are big 3 pathogens or 4. Those are E. coli, Listeria, Salmonella, and Clostridium. Clostridium botulinum, and physical contamination is metal, glass, plastic, and all sorts. So we don't want any of this thing to go through our system, and we want to have the best quality and the best safety that we can offer to you, our customers. That's why we can't skip any of this step, any of the quality steps. And last but not least, it's the source technique. It's from inbound raw materials to your product. That means we want to have the best product for you. So that's why the quality is in every step, that's from raw materials or even before raw materials to the finished good. So we have, or in a food industry, this is common, that's called food safety program. Under it, there's HACCP, where it reduces the risk of those three: physical, chemical, and biological, and GMP, good manufacturing practices. That's basically how your team produced the product, is in a good location, good condition, good process, and all sort. And we as a company recommend brands to have their own food safety program, because we can assure you from the start of our raw materials to the finished goods, to your hand, it's safe. But we cannot assure your product it's safe, because you have to do your own risk assessment, because we don't know how your product are being made and from which location, because each formula or each manufacturing facility has their own food safety program.